How's it going today, Scientist Etz? I understand that you have some stuff that you'd like to bring to everybody's attention.
Yeah, today we're at a facility that's meant for dropping off equipment and material, and from a facility that I cannot leave. This facility deals a lot with plants and how the genetics of plants work, and the plant that I want to bring to everyone's attention today is marijuana. I expect to get a lot of backlash from this video because people's views on marijuana are either you love it or you hate it, but most people can have either decided that they really hate it and it's evil, or that they like it and it's great, or that they don't have an opinion on it but it's still safe. But the real issue is that it is not safe, and hear me out the reason why. In the 1960s, big corporations started taking interest in the field of genetic manipulation, and plants were on the forefront. So they started...
In particular, correct me if I'm wrong, Scientist Etz, but wasn't one of the big corporations Monsanto's in this time period?
Yeah, well, I want to get away from using big corporation names. That is one that everyone does know, but the list of corporations that are involved is probably about 60. And it goes from everything from tech companies to food industry to the medical field. And all those corporations are...
intersynced with one another, correct?
Basically in lockstep, and there's, of those corporations, they actually, most of them do think that they are doing things for the good, like trying to stop the opiate epidemic. But ultimately, it falls back to the genetically being changed in the 1960s. So now, just now, we're basically only starting to see the beginnings of what happens to people when the plant has been manipulated. What we're going to see is increases and rises of cancer, increased neurological dysfunction, and a lot of corporations are blaming it on the medical field, but really they don't look into holistics, which marijuana kind of finds itself in, because it's not prescribed by doctors unless it's being given as a license to take it, and still then it isn't.
So are you saying that marijuana is different from the 1950s than it is today?
Yes, it's much stronger, and the chemical makeup of it has been altered in almost non-detectable ways.
Will you please explain to the viewers in here the difference between weapons grade THC and non-weapons grade THC within marijuana?
Well, weapons grade THC that's a term that I've used before, and it's not a well-known term. I use that term to designate the THC that's been changed in a way that carries on with it some genetically changed parts of it that do affect human health.
Okay. What is some of the health side effects that people could expect that we could see down the road and that we are currently seeing?
Like I said, increased neurological dysfunction, obesity, changes in human habit, as far as like they've actually found that they can change the makeup of the chemicals in the plant that can change thinking. So
really?
So now, yes. So now we have an increase in the rise of homosexuality, increase in rise of, and you can blame it on intolerance or whatever, but I am in possession of the paperwork, because I have worked on it myself, that they are working on things to increase an agenda from even that standpoint.
Okay. So I guess what is your job? What is actually, I know you can't really tell us a whole lot of what you do due to the safety risk involved in you even coming out and exposing this information, but what is what is your background in?
My background is, I don't want to get too far into my background because I could be found out as to who I am.
What could happen to you if you were found out?
Reprisals, I can be jailed. I have signed non-disclosure agreements, which I'm in complete violation of right now. And I can, I would say that probably they would assume that I have totally gone rogue, and which I'm just trying to help people that maybe should look into what you're doing before you blindly believe that the government wants to help you, because they've never wanted to help before, and they're not going to say that they're going to give you something safe as an alternative to stay away from something that's dangerous when they're making money off of it.
So they are making money off of the whole circuit all the way around, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand. Now, I guess, what is some of the statistics that you're hearing about from some of the higher ups? I know you were telling me earlier about some of the different stuff that you were hearing about from the higher ups. It was just incredible.
No, I've seen all the statistics on paper. What I hear from the higher ups is what they want to do even further.
Now, what do they want to do further?
They want to have everybody on some form of medication, whether it be marijuana, something. In fact, they want to make it a law that people will have to take something, because there's going to be found something wrong with the American, or with the America's the forefront, but with the psyche of humans in general, and that way we'll either have to be on some form of antidepressant or something.
Do you think that goes back to population control and dumbing down the population?
It doesn't have anything to do with population control. It doesn't have to do with dumbing down the population, because they don't want to decrease population. That is something that I have been asked before, just in talking to people that I know personally, that you know, chatting among the water cooler. I know it's not that. They want to control people better.
Okay. So they just want to have a population of masses that they can control.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I'm still so blown back by all this information, all these documents and everything that I've seen over these past few weeks and stuff. And me and you have went over extensively, and I greatly appreciate your help in trying to expose this. What is your take on big companies like Marlboro and different large corporations? I know we're not going to name them because you do work for some of them, but what do you think their main goal is? You know, do you think it's to control this market? Because you know there's something...
That's a big driving force, yes.
That's a big driving force, yes. The controlment of the market. Yep. Okay.
It's dollars and cents, but at the highest levels, when you go past the power of the corporation, then it is to have control over people.
Okay, so it's more or less all about control at the end of the day. From
every standpoint, economically, power over how you think, everything.
Okay, is there anything that you think that stands out, a red flag about some of the different stuff that they're splicing these new marijuana strains with that the population is unaware of?
Yes, there's a lot that the population isn't aware of, and I want to keep revealing things to you in metered doses. That way there is room for people to say this is disinformation, this is all fake, whatever, look into it. I want people to at least start looking into it for themselves. I don't want them to believe me whatsoever, because I am no one.
You're just a scientist.
Just a scientist.
Well, at the end of the day, we all greatly appreciate you coming here to talk to us today. I know that our time is running extremely short because you do need to be getting back to the other facility where you have to stay. But Mr. Etz, at the end of the day, we greatly appreciate your time with us today, and I look forward to doing some future videos and following up on this case with you.
I hope I can help somebody out there.
Thank you.